Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Victor is making big moves this week on Young and Restless, which not so surprisingly is the same thing he's been up to for decades. Plus Daniel calls out his sister. And Andrew's got more skeletons in her closet. Victor made it clear to Claire that he disapproved of her dating Kyle and slightly push his other granddaughter Summer to connect with her ex and their son as a family. Little Harrison helped him there, convincing his parents to work with him on a diorama about his home life for school, which caused Kyle to cancel plans with CLA. And even though Summer claimed she was happy for Kyle and CLA, not everyone belied her coming up. Summer tells Daniel if he's suggesting she's jealous of Kyle and Cla's relationship, he's way off base. Damien reeled over the fact that Nate was his half-brother, the man he thought was his father wasn't, and that his mother was dying. He stunned Nate and Amy by walking out on them, later deciding to leave Geno City for good. Nate promised Amy he would get through to Damien, but it appears Nate has other problems involving even more secrets. Next week, Otter tells Holden that last thing she needs after all this is Nate finding out they have a history. Nate appears and asks what's going on here. Finally, what's old is new again, and Victor is setting his sights on his next very familiar target. Victor says, now that I&R Ward and that Jordan woman are out of the picture, I want to implement the next phase of my plan. Michael asks which plan. Victor replies to go after Jack Abbott. Via Jabot, Victor Newman sat in his high-rise office, staring out over Genoa City as the sun dipped below the horizon. His mind, however, was focused on one thing: Jabot Cosmetics, more specifically, Jack Abbott. For years, their rivalry had been a cornerstone of the business world, a clash of titans that neither man was willing to walk away from. But this time, Victor was determined to strike in a way Jack wouldn't see coming. He swiveled in his chair and tapped a button on his desk phone. Michael, get in here, he commanded. Moments later, Michael Baldwin walked in, his sharp suit as pristine as ever. What can I do for you, Victor? I want every detail on Jabot's latest financials, investments, upcoming product launches, everything. Jack Abbott has gotten comfortable, and that is a weakness I plan to exploit. Michael smirked. I take it this isn't just business as usual. Victor folded his hands, his expression unreadable. No, this time I'm going to make sure Jack doesn't recover. Meanwhile, at Jabot headquarters, Jack Abbott leaned back in his chair, savoring a glass of bourbon. He had just finalized a major acquisition that would take Jabot to the next level. The company was stronger than ever, and for once Victor Newman had been quiet, too quiet. Ashley Abbott, his sister, an occasional business rival, walked in without knocking. I just got word that Newman Enterprises has been making quiet inquiries about our distribution channels. Jack stiffened. Victor's up to something. He never lets a grudge die. Ashley folded her arms. We need to be ready. I don't trust him, and neither should you, Jackson. Oh, believe me, I don't, but this time I intend to be 2 steps ahead. Victor's plan was already in motion through a series of shadow investments and third-party acquisitions. Newman Enterprises had begun to undermine Jabot's supply chain. Factories suddenly faced delays, key distributors were pulled away, and whispers of trouble spread among investors. Jack sharp as he was noticed the shift immediately. Dan Akey muttered, slamming his fist against his desk. Victor is choking us out. His assistant Ted walked in hesitantly. Sir, we're getting calls from multiple vendors. They're either raising prices or reconsidering their contracts with us. Jack exhaled sharply. Get me a meeting with the board. We need a counterattack. Victor, meanwhile, was far from done. Sitting across from Michael Baldwin, he reviewed the next phase of his plan. Jack will panic soon, and when he does, he'll make a desperate move. That's when we strike. Michael nodded. And what if he doesn't panic? Victor's infamous smirk appeared. He will. True to form, Jack was already on edge. He gathered his top executives, including Ashley and Billy Avant, for an emergency strategy meeting. We need to lock down our suppliers before Victor pulls the rug out from under us completely. Ashley, can you leverage your biotech contacts? Billy, see if we can pivot toward alternative distribution channels. We need K fast. Billy sighed. This is classic Victor. He won't stop until gets what he wants. Days turned into weeks as the corporate war intensified. Jack scrambled to salvage Jabot's supply chain, but Victor was relentless. Key contracts were bought out from under them, distribution channels dried up, and even loyal vendors found themselves woed away by Newman's deep pockets. Victor arranged a secret buyout, a crucial European distributor that accounted for nearly 40% of Jabot's international sales. When Jack got the news, he felt the walls closing and Ash stormed into his office. "Jack, if we don't find an alternative fast, our profits are going to tank." Jack gritted his teeth. "Victor thinks he's won, but I have one last card to play." Jack made a bold move. He reached out to an old ally turned enemy, Adam Newman. Adam had his own complicated history with Victor and was more than willing to sabotage his father's plans. "I have a proposition," Jack said, as he met Adam in a secluded bar outside town. "Help me counter Victor, and I'll make sure Jabot aligns with you in the future." Adam took a sip of his drink. "Considering you want to go against my father, that's a dangerous game." Jack leaned in. "So is living in his shadow forever? Are you in or out?" With Adam's help, Jack executed a strategic counterplay. They orchestrated a major acquisition of a rival cosmetics firm that Newman Enterprises had been eyeing. This move not only secured an alternative distribution channel for Jabot, but also blindsided Victor. Michael Baldwin rushed into Victor's office. "Sir, you're not going to like this. Jack just took over Argent Cosmetics, the very company we were trying to acquire to strengthen our grip." Victor's expression darkened. Jack Abbott just made a very costly mistake. He picked up his phone. "Prepare for phase 2. If Jack wants to play, we'll play, but I assure you he won't like the ending."